Mark, did you get a...
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for your host of Comedy Snacks, JR and Nina Wilder.
I'm glad for you.
Look at all these people.
Woo! Welcome to Comedy Snacks.
Welcome. Comedy Snacks, once again, live from the Havana Theatre. And yeah, it's you can watch us, Vancouver Comedy Vancouver Live.
Well, I mean, you can. They're watching us, Jay. You just said that to people who are already with us. Hopefully, you're watching this on a thing that you are watching this on.
She's my translator for the night. So, anything else? What's new? Anything new with you this week?
Well, if you noticed, I have a bandage on my arm. No, I do not do shooting up things. I donated blood for the first time ever. And it was interesting because I was chatting with this woman who's taking my blood for me. And she says, you know, some people actually choose to do this for weight loss.
Does that work?
Well, I just think that is completely ridiculously unsustainable.
If they could take from both my arms, they could take blood from here. I'd take a lot of blood from here if they want.
Just... Like, what? Like, is our culture so obsessed with weight loss that, like, take my arm? I lost 18 pounds in the first week.
It's cheaper than, like, liposuction and stuff, though.
Why go to a blood clinic? Just cut yourself up. No problem. But it's ridiculous. Like, I just think, like, I'm so over this obsession with, like, trying to slim down. Like, I don't even like diets, okay? Like, I like keto. Keto is the one. If you guys don't know this, keto is where you eat a bunch of protein, a bunch of fat, and it's got absolutely zero science. Number one. Actually, that's not fair. That's not fair. Keto is something they made up to help people with epilepsy have less seizures because they're tired and starving. Just saying. But seriously, like, I'm so... I mean, I came out on social media earlier this week because I was super done with this whole vibe about you have to be this perfect person. You have to live your best life. Like, that is so much pressure to just brush your fucking teeth, you know?
Nobody is constantly 24 hours a day living their best life, I don't think.
Can you imagine, though? Like, if you tried, like, can you just do everything with, like, an old Navy mannequin expression, just like...
People who do are dying on the inside.
God.
So, yeah, no pressure.
God. One of the other ones, too, is that to live your best life, you have to be productive all the time, like, which is great. So I was, being caught up with this because I'm another anxious millennial. I was reading about a productivity hack, which is like, apparently, you should not multitask. You should not multitask because apparently humans, we can't focus on anything more than one thing at a time, and I think that's... I think that's ridiculous. But seriously, like, I multitask everything because I want to get more shit done in one day, right? Because you're rewarded for that. So, you do the whole thing where, like, you pair things up. Like, you make dinner with a podcast. You send emails while somebody else is talking to you. I caught myself masturbating while reading a book. Okay? Like,
you women need weird material to get off.
I think...
What kind of book are you reading?
Well, I think it was actually on self-improvement. I don't know, though, because, like, I mean, I felt improved after.
Is it working? Yeah.
But you don't want to fuck that up, by the way. Like, that takes some skill, because, like, I mean, you start, like, rubbing the pages and, like, flipping through, like, it's weird. And then you forget what you're doing, and the page is stuck together, so you do the whole, like...
And then you got to bring it back to the library.
I have a very personal library. Thank you very much.
I throw it in the Dropbox and run.
Actually, I was thinking I could make a business out of this, like, entrepreneurial spirit. But, like, people buy used underwear, so I thought I could sell my used books. And, like, it'd be a whole product line, like...
There's a market for everything.
No, think about it. Snatcher in the Rye. Puss in Books. Twatlight. That one's a box set. Okay, I'm done. Bye now. Anyways. I think we have a show.
I think we have a show.
Yeah.
We do a little show here, so you want to get that started?
I would love to get that
Let's
started.
do that.
You'll see us cleaning the mics in between. It's very fun.
Like right now. I'm going to bring up our first comic for the evening. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love
do we
this
have?
guy. He's been very busy recently, all over the place. But let's bring up our first comic, Mr. Sahib, Rude Boy. Rana.
Yes. I've also masturbated into a book. It was called Victoria's Secret, and it's fucking great stuff. It's brilliant when they all stick together. You know what I was thinking when I was there? You know, JR, if you're a woman and they wouldn't tell you to lose weight, they'd say you're beautiful the way you are. You know, keep that in mind, brother. Anyways, I've had a lot of time to think during COVID. You know, well, COVID's still going on. Motherfuckers are still dying and shit. You know, like, but my favorite death has to be Richard Rose III. You know, typical flat earther, right? Like, also, how inbred is his family that they just couldn't think of another name besides Richard? But as a typical white guy, he was on Facebook just ranting about how masks are shit, as well as one of his first posts were like, I will never wear a mask, it's against my constitutional right, but I will have an AR-15 with bazooka attachment with a flashlight so I can fuck the gun and shoot kids at the same time. So... And then his next post was at a beach party. You know, it was just fucking packed to the rafters, cunts everywhere. And he goes, not even full. And then 2 days later, he goes, I've got COVID and I can't even breathe and I'm sitting here. Only if they fucking told you, wear a mask, hand sanitize, social distance. But, I've had a lot of time to think during COVID, and male porn stars don't get enough paid. You know what I mean? Like, they work twice as hard. They have to fuck in so many different types of positions, head back this way, leg over here, fucking, and all women have to do is just sit there like they're playing tennis. 15, love. It's not fair. And then women can be of all shapes, sizes, no discrimination. But if me and JR wanted to do porn, fuck, we'd be just laughed out. Also, you have to have your dick has to be the size of Gary Coleman's forearm, which is just fucking massive. Thank you. I wrote it myself. I'm hilarious. Oh, man. Good time. I'm not used to laughter. Oh, it's great. It's a good time. It's a good time. Anyway, so tell you a bit about myself. I was born in West London to African Indian parents, and I moved to Africa when I was 6 months old, and then moved back to the UK, then moved to Australia. So I'm pretty fucking confused in what I am. Oh, that was a good joke. I thought you would have liked it. That's why I'm like, she's loving it. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. As an international man, I've seen lots of things like culture, food, and looking like me, lots of strip clubs. And the first strip club I went to in Canada was actually the Fox in Victoria. Sad face, closed down now, I know. But the guy over there is just like, don't throw coins at the ladies. Who the fuck's just pinging 25-cent pieces at these women? I've lived in Africa, and over there like, no coins, just stones. It's not my fault they didn't develop a fucking currency. Good times, good times, good times. Oh, man. And, like, what I don't understand about America is why black people say the N-word. It's like when I was growing up in the UK, they called me Packy, but you don't see me and my boys making rap videos like Packy's in Paris. We're not going, my Packy, my Packy, my Packy, my Packy, my Packy, my Packy, my Packy. Just doesn't have the same effect. It's this shit version, isn't it? Oh, good times, good times. Anyways, in 2017, I went to live my dream of becoming a cricket player. It obviously went really well because I'm performing in front of one person. Because I did this last time. I went to watch the YouTube video, no comments on how great I was. I was very disappointed. My mum said I was great, so it's fine. It's all right. It's okay. So anyway, it didn't go well. But before that, I actually went to the US as a bit of a trip for myself, and as a feminist, I went to the women's march. She's like, motherfucker, you do not look like a feminist. And then there was this feminazi, I think you call them, was hurling abuse at everyone. And then she goes to me, you don't know how it feels to be discriminated. I'm like, bitch, please, look at me. I'm clearly Australian, and all people think I know how to do is snowboard and spread STDs. But I don't even know how to snowboard. Just spread that chlamydia on every mountaintop in Canada. It's fucking gold, isn't it? It's brilliant. You know, Banff is like, this fun fact for you, Banff is like the sexual capital of like, or STD capital of Canada because of, you know, Australia, just fucking rooting and going, you know. Just aside, that was just a fun fact. It's not really fun, but I just wanted to educate my no fans on Twitch. But anyways, recently there was this white guy who was telling me how bad British people were to me. Do you know what I mean? To me. My family were fucking taken from, as they were exporting black people, they were importing us into Africa. You know what I mean? He's complaining to me that he hates British people because of Star Wars. I know, right? This motherfucker, you know what British people did to us besides taking us all around the world? They stole all of our coolest shit, shipped it back to their capital city, chucked it in a museum, and now we have to pay them to see our own shit. My dad's like, look, this was ours once, now we have to pay £300 to see it. Oh, good times, good times. This is not the right stand, but I will finish with this joke. Actually, yeah, you know, I'll finish with this joke. I'll have to think about it first. Oh, God. I forgot it. It's fine. It's okay. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Yep, that's my time. Don't judge me. I'm a nice guy.
Keep it going for Sahib, guys. He's your fellow comic. All right, as I make myself useful here, we're going to introduce you your next comic. He is lovely. You watch him, and he literally looks like if Commercial Drive were pushed into a person. Like, that's what he looks like. So please, give a warm welcome to Scott Osborne. Woo!
Hi. I like comic books. Smoking weed and and masturbating. Surprise! And tonight my whole set is going to be based off of one of them. Right now my mom, who's watching at home, is going, "Please not masturbation. Please not masturbation." So, on that note, I absolutely love smoking weed. And I would pretty much smoke weed with anybody in the world. Except for probably my girlfriend. Or as I like to refer to her as, Weed Satan. Here's why. The other day we're outside and we're smoking weed and I pass her the joint and I go, "Here you go, dear." She takes a hit. She looks me up and down. She goes, "Huh, those new pants?" "No, why?" "Ha, guess I never realized how fat they're starting to make you look." Okay. And then she doesn't even give me time to process. And she goes, "Hey, would you like a cookie?" "Would you like a... I'll just get the whole fucking box." And she starts to walk away. What the hell? And that's after one hit. I don't know if anybody here smokes weed. That shit does not happen, especially after one hit. So, I got a brilliant idea. Or so I thought it was a brilliant idea. I decided to turn the tables. So the next day, we're outside, we're smoking weed, and I take a hit, I go, that shirt shrink in the dryer? Now, don't get me wrong, I know that was wrong to say, and I wish I would have stopped there, but I didn't, and I didn't give her time to process, and I just went on over to the kitchen, and I yelled out, "Hey, dear, would you like a box of cookies?" "Of course you want the whole box of cookies, I'll just bring them." And I'm walking over the box of cookies. Finally, now I just realize her face goes beet red. She walks right up to me, knocks the fucking cookies out of my hand, and now she proceeds to the bathroom. Now she goes to slam the bathroom door, not realizing it's one of those doors you actually can't slam. So now she just looks like a pissed off little toddler trying to slam the door and be like, fat fucking, fuck you, fat fucking piece of fucking. Finally gets the door shut. I hear her sit on the toilet, and then she yells out, slam! As if I didn't know what sound the door was supposed to make. So about an hour goes by, and I'm going, oh, that's been a really long time. I think she's trying to work out how to kill me. And then the door swings open. She comes up to me face to face, and she goes, for one, those pants, they do make you look fat. For two, yes, I do want more than one cookie. Who the hell wouldn't? And for three, I'm not even going to bother. And she turns out, she gets back into bed, and I go, it wasn't so bad. She goes, no, for three? I'm like, okay. She goes, can you please turn the light off? I mean, I would, but apparently I'm too fat. And she turns the light off. But I have to give her dues. She's not always that bad when we smoke weed. She's still aggressive, but she's not always bad. The other day, we're sitting there, we're smoking. I pass her the joint. She takes a hit. She goes, if you could be reincarnated into anything, what would it be? And I'm like, God, to be honest, I don't know. She throws a tantrum. She goes, I don't know. It's not an answer. I don't know. She goes, okay, let me rephrase it to you. Gun to your head, pick an animal. What would you be? And I was like, oh, shit. Great white. Then she looks at me all judgmental and goes, oh, great white, eh? I'm like, yeah, was that the wrong answer? He goes, why great white? I'm like, I don't know. I kind of just always wanted to see the ocean, and it's like top of the food chain, so I thought that'd be a great answer. She goes, oh, that is a great answer. I'm like, what would you be? Without hesitation, she goes, duck. You can pick any animal, you realize, right? And this is your game. You pick a duck? And she goes, well, I mean, that's what I used to think when I was a teenager. Why? Because, I don't know, they're like teenagers, you know, always quack, 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 quacking, and they look like they're always having a good time, and I'm like, okay. And she goes, okay, wait, no, you know what? I want to change my answer. I really want to change my answer. Can I change my answer? I really want to change my answer. I'm like, it's your fucking game, sure. And she goes, I'd be a wolf. Now I start laughing and go, you don't even like being around people. And she goes, what? And I'm like, wolves are pack animals. She goes, oh. Okay, well, I want to change again. I'd be a honey badger. I'm like, a honey badger? Why would you be a honey badger? She goes, because they're vicious and they're ferocious. And if you ask them too many questions, they rip your fucking face off. Are we done here? I went, yeah, I think we're done here. But my favorite story actually happened the other night. We just spent the whole night smoking weed. And she walks out of the bathroom. Now, I have to tell you about our living room. When you walk into it, it's a studio. So we just have one huge bay window. So anyway, she walks out of the bathroom, fully naked, pussy for the whole world to see. And I turn around, and I'm looking at her, and she's just sitting there like this in front of the window. And I'm going, oh, fuck. She asked me to close the blinds, didn't she? Do I say something? And I'm like, well, I have to say something. She's kind of twirling now. And I'm like, hey, you know the blinds are open, right? And she goes, what? No. I just like to be naked. Look at me. Woo! She starts just like twirl. I'm like, no. The blinds are open. Jocelyn stops. Eyes go wide. She goes, the fucking blinds are open. I'm like, yeah. She turns on. She goes like this. She runs to the bathroom. Again, tries to slam it. Fucking, why didn't you fucking, you should have told me earlier. Fuck you. Finally gets the door shut. I hear her sit on the toilet and she goes, slam, motherfucker. So I'm kind of starting to think it's me. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Once again, making me feel excellent about being single. Fuck. And reminding me not to fall into the trap. Yeah, I like being single, man. It's I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want. When I get high, no one asks me questions but myself. That's a great conversation for a couple hours, though. Anyway, enough about me. This audience is on fire tonight. I don't want to let them down. So let me bring in he's becoming one of my greatest friends here in this scene. And I love having him on whenever I can and whenever he wants it. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome to Mark Hughes.
Okay, you're not walking. Sweet. Like that usually happens midway through the set. So, you know, probably the hack joke has been done a million times, putting this thing on with your mouth, right? Yeah, well, next time I'm going to put it on with my asshole. Fucking right. Who here is circumcised? Yeah. Did you know that if you're circumcised, it takes away about 40% of the ability to feel down in the old hoo-ha? You know what I mean? Yeah. So thanks, Mom. You know, gee. And so I'm not for it happened to me, whatever, it is what it is, but I'm not for it. Like, so if I ever had a son, I would not for a second ever dream about getting him circumcised. My daughter, on the other hand, can do whatever she wants with her dick. You know, it's 2020. Sorry, dick. Anyone else here get bullied when they were a kid, besides the comics? I guess you're the only audience. Did you get bullied when you were a kid at school? Yeah, it sucks, eh? It's. I don't think the pink shirts are going to do anything about it, though. Do you think? I don't think that's going to cure it. You know, that's something. But you know what? If I ever had kids and they were getting bullied, I would do exactly what my dad did. I'd grab a baseball bat, go find those kids, and make them suck my cock. I turned out fine, right? What I'm trying to say is that my mother's a cunt. Okay? Growing up, my favorite movie was Bambi because I always hoped that she would die in a fire. Actually, that's all right. I'll take that as a laugh. That's good. There you go. What's your name? Jen, are you an audience member? You're gonna do comedy tonight? Oh, okay. What am I fucking wasting my breath on you for? Fuck. Using up my emotional labor. You owe me reparations now. Oh, well. Hey, did you guys hear this one? You might not have heard it, but you might have read it. Remember prior to COVID? Remember that? Remember the before times, as they call them? Prehistory. The New York Times did an article about whether or not it's racist to call the police on a black person if you see them committing a crime or not. After reading that, I just know that if I ever go out and steal a car, I'm putting on shoe polish. That's all I know. But for real, all lives matter. Your video is going to get taken down off of YouTube. That's all right. Oh, does it go up live? Are we live? Oh, okay. That's all right. Welcome to the land of demonetization. So since we're in the land of demonetization, let's talk about flat Earth, shall we? No. I don't know. I don't give a shit about any of that. You know, conspiracy theories are basically horoscopes for men. If you think about it, they're you know, they're fun, and which is such a chemtrail thing to say, you know. But the thing is about conspiracy. Do you have one? Do you have a favorite one, Jen? You don't? Do you have one that you're that's real. That's not. That one's boring, man. That one's boring. Anyone here a lizard person, fella or girl? No, it's all right. It's okay. Everyone's got a conspiracy theory. The thing is about conspiracy theories, it's like doing coke, though. You know what I mean? As long as you're just doing rails at the party while everyone else is doing them, you know, and you're not still doing them at work on Monday morning, it's all okay, right? You know, it's fine. And then it's just you're a weekend warrior. I have some friends though who are like, they started off as like just, you know, they dabbled once in a while, little couple. not quite flat Earth, but more like, you know, like, I can't think of a light one. This is a brand, I'm just thinking of this right now. What's a light conspiracy theory? What's like a Paul McCartney? Oh, Berenstein Bears. They start off with the Berenstein Bears, right? Yeah, okay, so they start off with a little bit of that. Next thing you know, they're like, satanic pedophile ring runs fucking the country, which it does. And then they're fucking sucking dick with lizard people. You know, it's a terrible cycle. I'll work on that joke. I got something there. I'm gonna figure that one out. There's something there. So anyone here like UFC? You like UFC, Jen? No, you do? You like UFC? That's cool. They say it's kind of gay, though, Jen. Well, yeah, I agree, because I know I like to punch a guy a few times before I fuck him. You know? Some people like brown eyes. Some people like blue eyes. I like black eyes. Fucking applause break. Where's the audience, man? They paid. I guess who gives a shit? We got their money, right? No. Let's talk about them behind their back. I heard they're sluts. And the dress they wore, they got on sale. And the girls are talking. How come girls are so mean to each other behind their back? Does anyone know? Do you have the answer? Nina, do you know why? You don't know? Guys aren't like that. What's that? Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. That's true, yeah. Yeah, it's different when you know there could be a fist fight at the end of the thing. I mean, not with comics, of course, but that's pretty much like arguing with women. But comics will bring up, remember that one time, male comics will bring up something, remember that one time 3 years ago where you didn't do well on a stat? I'm going to post that on the forum. I'm going to shit talk you on the forum. You on the Vancouver stand-up forum, Jen? Oh, poor girl. Have you been dogpiled in a comment thread yet? No? Have you been called a rape apologist yet? Oh, keep on coming back. It's okay. That'll happen. Yeah, someone called me a rape apologist once. I'm like, I've never apologized. Someone say Jesus Christ? No. Only accept Yahweh or Allah. Thank you. Sacred comments. Oh yeah, I was going out with a Muslim girl for a while, and okay, do you know anything about Islam? Okay, usually people who are Muslim, they're not really supposed to date outside the religion, depending on how serious. Anyway, the sect that she belonged to was quite strict, and my friends found out about this, and they said, "Dude, you got to be careful, right? Like, this is some pretty serious shit." And I'm like, "Guys, relax. I'm not the one who's going to be stoned to death." So I'm a recovering heroin addict, and I used to steal to support my habit. I used to rob banks, and that part's true. Sometimes people don't believe me, but it's absolutely true. I was sentenced to 9 years for holding up banks, and I did 7 of the 9 years, and my dad's still mad at me. He's like, "You can never finish anything you start, eh, Mark?" So sometimes people get uncomfortable when I start talking about bank robbery and stuff like that. I can't imagine why. Didn't you guys have a fun childhood or no, right? So, and what I've had to do is, like, you know, you gotta calm people down sometimes when you start talking about shit like this. So I say, relax, guys. I only robbed white people, right? Because I wanted to make sure they had money. All right, have a good night.
Oh, sorry, I forgot this. I was also bullied as a kid. I guess, is that a comedian thing? Yeah, everyone's nodding their head here. I was bullied, but fortunately, my bullies were pretty stupid. They had the worst insults. They were like, "Your chest is as flat as your back," and I'm like, I'm fucking 11. All right. Okay, your next comic. He is much taller. He is a lot more stable. Please give it up for Ray Morrison.
With you. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Before I start, is there anyone out there celebrating anything tonight? No? Okay, I didn't think so. So I got the results of my physical a couple of weeks ago, my annual physical, and the doctor told me that I was healthy for my age. But then it got serious. She looked at me and she said, but Ray, at the age that you look, you had better start living life one day at a time. I know. So I made some changes. Right away, I stopped buying the green bananas. I now only purchase the travel-size toiletries, the little ones there, and I'm not going anywhere. I've even recently stopped purchasing the 24-hour cold medication. I think temporary relief is fine. And every day when I leave the house, I put $2.20 worth of gas in the car because I don't mind dying, but I am not going to die with a full tank of gas. And you know, everybody here probably has clothes that they wear around the house that they wouldn't be caught dead in outside. Is that right? Yeah, well, I don't even buy them. I don't even wear them in the house anymore. In my condition, it's just too risky. So in October of last year, I retired from day job. Yep, thank you. And in March, everybody else did. I started getting my pension. Everybody else started getting the CERB or the CURB, whatever you call it. So you guys actually got more than I did, but it's temporary. It's temporary for both of us. I just hope I can last a few more months, that's all. And then people say, what do you do when you retired? So when I retired, I started doing some consulting work, which a lot of people say, and it usually doesn't mean anything. But I've been consulting on a new, quicker, cheaper way of having a funeral, which is very timely right now. And I can't tell you the details. I can tell you the name of it, though, the name of the business, if you want it. Does anybody want to know? Yeah? Okay, it's definitely going to be called Skip the Casket. This is a pickup service, and when they show up at your door, it's a way bigger bag. So last October, just before I retired, there was a woman in our store who worked for Hallmark Films, or a movie, you know, those high-quality Christmas movies that they shoot around town. Well, she asked me, after talking to me for a while, if I'd done any acting. And I told her that I hadn't, but I do some stand-up. And she said, because you would be perfect in one of those films. She said, we use the same 3 or 4 old guys in every movie. So first of all, I was very flattered to be an old guy in her mind there. But so I gave her my name and information and everything. And then in January, they called me, and I actually had an audition for a movie, which was pretty cool. And the part was for an adorable dad. That was the part. Yeah, adorable dad on dialysis. And I didn't get the part. They told me that I actually nailed the adorable part of it. But they said when the team was looking at me laying on the hospital bed all hooked up with all the tubes, it just wasn't believable that I could make it through. So have you ever been, this has happened to most people, you just talk and Siri answers you? Have you had that? You know, the accidental Siri thing? Well, I was driving and this guy, he didn't even cut me off, but it was a late merge kind of situation. And I guess I said, what the hell? So Siri came on and said, getting directions to hell. go straight. And I know it could have been way worse than that. She could have said, "You have arrived at your destination." Okay, here's some Donald Trump motivational sticky notes that he keeps on his mirror. I got some news here. So there was 4 of them this morning. Here's what today's were. It's like, lie like everyone believes you. Lead like there's no tomorrow. And then there was 2 other ones. There's comb your hair like it's still there. And then that great John Legend song, All of Me Loves All of Me. I went to a senior's home, actually, a couple of weeks ago, just to check out pricing, because I thought one of these days, and I'd heard they're expensive. So I went to the home and I asked them, "Can you just give me some pricing? I just want an idea. I'm obviously not ready for the home yet." And they quoted me the hourly rate. Many years ago, getting ready for work in the morning, I'm in the bathroom and I fart. And for you ladies out there, right here, the 2 of you, this is what men do sometimes. We're aware that you don't, and we're okay with it. It's just another way that you amaze us. And so I farted, and from down the hall, my son calls out, "What?" And I said, "I didn't say anything." And he said, "You did so. I heard you call Scott." And that was the moment that I knew that I possessed the gift. It's the gift known as bumtriloquism. It's the lesser known of the triloquisms. And believe it or not, it's actually easier than ventriloquism. Why? Thank you, Nina, for asking. Because no one ever sees your lips move. So I went online the other night and made my first ever all by myself big boy purchase online. I only timed out once. And I bought a home colonoscopy kit. I know. And you're probably thinking you wasted your money, right? But no, I bought quality. It's a Dyson. Okay, how many people here have heard of, how many people are here? No, how many people have heard of gender reveal parties? Have you heard of them? Yeah, anybody been to one? Yeah, well, I went to my first one a couple of weeks ago, and it was a little different. It was a gender reveal party for a dog. I know. I thought it was different. Maybe they're all like that. But when I tell people, they say, "Well, how did it end?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I left early. The mom was a bitch." And I realized after this show, I only have one thing left on my comedy bucket list after this one. It is, and I'm going to realize that dream. I'm going to do it this year for sure. I will do comedy on a cruise ship if it's the last thing I do. And it could be. And I'll just end with this. I've been doing some research on seniors dating websites. I'll give you my top 3. My wife encouraged me to do that. I'm not sure why. But there's some really good sites, but the names are crappy. You need a punchy name if you're going to draw people. So here's ones I've come up with. In 3rd place, Arthritis to Unite Us. I think it's pretty good, and trust me, it's realistic. In 2nd place, Brand New Hips. No more whips. And in 1st place, can we do a drum roll somehow in here? False teeth in the glass, looking for ass. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, let's give it up for Ray. Catch him on his farewell tour on a cruise. call it the farewell tour. He's talking about gender reveal parties. It's a weird world we live in. You guys remember when gender reveal parties were only 2 colors? Now we got fucking white. What do you do now? You got 52 different colored balloons that you just let go. This is a good room. Let's bring on our next comedian. She's super adorable, super sweet, and that's the laugh you've been hearing this whole show. Please give it up for Jen Markham.
Got a little admin here, no worries. I thought you looked familiar. I worked in a bank that got robbed before, so you looked familiar from here up. Can you hear me? All right. So I'm actually right from dance tonight, so you guys get me all hot and bothered. Yeah. Good news is, though, because of COVID, no one's going to smell me because no one's in my bubble. Yeah, that's actually a really great silver lining if you were looking for one. I haven't smelled anybody's farts lately. You know, the guys, because, you know, as women, I only fart when I'm asleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to sleep. It's like musical theater. Other than my boyfriend. My boyfriend has the stinkiest, especially because it's been hot lately. It's like sticky. He farts, and I'm like chewing on it, and I'm like, what crawled up your ass and died? That is disgusting. Anyways, yeah. So there's a benefit of COVID if you were looking for one. Does anybody remember Twisty Cones? Twisty Cones, McDonald's. The vanilla and the chocolate all wrapped together. Twisty Cones, yeah. So don't go to McDonald's and ask for one, they'll laugh at you. Yeah, I'm showing my age. The age that I am, not the age that I look, it's different. There's actually 2 places that you can, I'm talking this way because I'm no longer there, get it? All right. There's actually 2 places, this is educational, you can write this down, 2 places that you can still get a Twisty Cone, okay? IKEA, who doesn't want to go to IKEA, and BC Ferries. BC Ferries is my personal favorite. Take the ferry a lot, used to. And I have a tradition. I get poutine on the way there and then a Twisty Cone on the way back. It's like a poutine routine, if you will. So there I am getting my Twisty Cone. And so the great thing about BC Ferries, the little cups are there. They're not Menchies, okay? They don't actually weigh it. You can fill that thing as much as you possibly can, which I do. And they'll just they'll give you a little disapproving look at the till, but that can be overcome by a glorious Cheshire grin of a accomplishment. So there I am one time, I'm filling my Twisty Cone, and I'm really in the zone because it takes a lot of concentration. I have a lot of practice. And somebody comes up beside me, and you can feel somebody there. And as it turns out, it was my friend Jessica, who I'm, dear friend from high school. But I didn't know that. I was like, oh, this bitch is gonna wait. Yeah, no, I'm busy. And she didn't interrupt me. She was like, yeah, I could tell that was something that you should not interrupt somebody doing. And I was like, yeah, it's one of the 3, okay? In the bathroom, underneath someone, or on top, I don't judge, and serving soft serve. So speaking of food, I have a dog. I'm a dog owner. You'd know that if you have me on Facebook. If there's toddlers in the room, there's a really good reason why your dog isn't hungry. My dog's figured it out. Little humans are like walking Pez dispensers, right? So there's my nephew in his high chair, eating his food. And there's my dog, underneath the high chair, catching the food as it falls. I can't see. I looked at the lights. Another fun fact about me, I really like autocorrect. I think it's kind of like Bob Ross and like the happy accidents. Yeah, especially have a sexy side hustle. So talk a lot about sex stuff, and sometimes it can get really funny. When you mean anal, but it comes out oral. Totally different, let me tell you. I also like risks, some risks. I like bungee jumping. I've jumped out of an airplane. I've done skydiving. The risk I do not take is eating a chocolate out of the box without looking at the legend first. Because you're always gonna get the cream one, and they're disgusting. I was cleaning my green waste bin the other day, thinking about useless tasks. And I thought that there wasn't much more useless than cleaning your green waste bin every time. And then I realized that I got an email confirming my unsubscription from their subscription emails. And I was like, all right, I don't feel so bad about cleaning my green waste bin anymore. And okay, so if you didn't write down the twisty cone thing, that's okay. This one is worth it, okay? So if you haven't done anything adulting today, I'll help you out. I read this meme about crispers, you know, that bottom part of the fridge being where dreams go to die. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. All my vegetables go in there. A week later, I throw them out. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna reverse it. I'm gonna reverse the situation. So I put all the veggies in the front of the fridge where I had to move the veggies to get to the unhealthy stuff. And then I put something very important that I'm never gonna forget about in the crisper. You guys ready? Yeah, I put the alcohol in there, okay? That's never gonna go to waste. You're welcome. Awesome.
Oh my God, some people out there get way more dopamine than others. That's great. That's great. You're just reminding me that I have not emptied my compost. I'm actually the worst at emptying my compost. Every time I open that thing, I have to re-kill what's inside. I'm pro-choice. Anyways, we have a marvelous headliner for you tonight. He is one of the best on the scene. No pressure. He's fierce, he's concise, he's hilarious. Please give it up for Sam Tonning.
Which one? Whichever one. Concise. That's great. I like it. How are you? You're very funny. How was dancing? It was good? Yeah, I like to hear it. That's great. Yeah, hello, audience. How are you? I don't know. I'm going to end there. It's been great. You guys are fantastic. Keep coming back. You're the best. Okay, bye-bye.
Woo! Give it up for Sam one more time. He's working on an hour long of pure pedo jokes. So stay tuned for his new special, Made for Kids. That's it. That's been a great show. That's our show this week. That was fantastic.
I'm pretty pleased.
I'm good.
I mean, the comics showed up.
The comics showed up, and Jen stood in for an audience, or sat in for an audience member too. If you ever want a good laugh, she's the one to sit there. Yeah. I've been trying to get her out to other shows just to laugh, just to be an audience member and laugh. She makes up for a full 2 tables of laughter.
Pretty much. She's
So,
probably
yeah.
the most socially adjusted one here. Just saying.
Wait till she does a few more sets.
Okay. You're so hopeless.
I'm reaching that point where the hope is leaving my eyes as you look into them. I'm becoming a real comedian.
Oh, good. Jaded.
In Vancouver.
Oh, my God.
Hopeless and jaded.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Hopefully
Thank you.
it brought you up a little.
Thank you for watching anyway, from wherever you're watching. That's
Thank
great.
you, all of you who came in magically.
There's actually a full house. We're just not a humble brag.
100%.
100.
All right.
Anything else we need to mention?
Nope, that's a wrap. Catch you next week at
Next
8
Thursday.
p.m.
Bye, guys.
Woo!